Hello everybody, 90-day challenge, day 80, and today's the day where you start to collect feedback. And there are several ways to collect feedback. A really good way to collect feedback is the feedback that you get in the moment. When you're communicating or persuading or influencing someone, you can notice the response that you're getting, and particularly notice the difference between a yes and a no and a maybe, and just really pay attention to all the information that you're getting in what Malcolm Gladwell calls the blink. In other words, the blink of an eye. The first few seconds when you first meet someone, you can notice lots of information. You can calibrate the response that you're getting by asking a few questions. So, for example, did you have a good day today? And which will the answer to that will be yes or no. And yes, I did have a good day today. And the basic structure is to ask closed questions, which will enable you to gather the information that you want in order to be able to calibrate the difference between a yes and a no. So that's one really useful form of feedback that you can get. The second form is to ask for feedback, either in writing or verbally, after you've completed a process. So, for example, after an interview, whether you get the job or whether you don't get the job, you can ask for feedback. After a sales pitch, whether you get a sales pitch or not, you can ask for feedback. Then the third form of feedback is by comparison. So if you do, say, 5 interviews, in your mind you can make mental images of those 5 interviews and compare the 5 interviews and notice the difference between the ones that worked really well and the ones that didn't work so well, so you can learn from that as well. So today's message is to start gathering feedback. You can gather feedback when you're at a networking event, when you're being interviewed, when you're communicating with someone on the phone. You can notice the changes in their voice tone. When you're out and about at a networking event, you can ask for feedback. When you've done several presentations, or when you've been to several networking events, you can do a comparison in your mind and notice the feedback that you get and the difference between your representation of those different events. So that's it for today. Get some feedback. I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Take care then. Cheers. Bye.